Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I haven't had a chance to get a video out. Life's just been crazy, work and everything. We're in the dog days of summer here. It's been 100 degrees here in the Midwest up until this week. This weekend it's beautiful. Didn't get a chance to get down to the lake this weekend, but I wanted to get a video. I had some footage from earlier in the year, kind of going back to my last video where I unboxed the church tackle planer boards. So I was able to get out, play around a little bit with those. So check this video out, and I'll kind of go over everything. It's my first time out with them, talk you through kind of my setups, kind of what I'm running, all that stuff. Hang around to the end. I'll pop back in, kind of go over what I've found since then is working or didn't work then, what I think will work. We're just going to keep diving into this, learning this technique of using planer boards, both for pulling crankbaits and then also pulling jigs. So I've got some footage. I have went out, I have pulled some jigs as well too with some planer boards. So I'll give you my another video with that, give you my opinion, what I kind of find pulling jigs as well too. But this video is pulling crankbaits with the church tackle planer boards. First time out, and yeah, it was to say the least, it was an adventure. So like I said, stick around to the end. I'll pop back in, kind of go over what I found and what I think I can do different. So hope you all enjoy the video. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. The more more help, more engagement I can get on these videos, the more I'd be able to get down, put some videos together for you. So hopefully you all like this. Leave me a comment down below, and we'll catch you at the end of the video. All right, everyone. So we are finally out on the water with our church tackle planer boards. So we're gonna give these things a shot, and basically I've got to re-rig everything here. So kind of set up everything just for convenience. First off, to kind of see what I'm going to need to do here. So the first thing is going to be my rods, I think. I have to get these rods kind of situated here, get the angles right and everything, because it's a completely new setup for me. So I'm going to get these set up here and kind of see what we need. Now I'm still using my 12-foot Edgar trolling rods. So we'll see if these are going to be the best rod for this application or not. So, and like I said, we're learning this together. So this is the second episode of learning these planer boards here, my planer boards here. So let me get set up, and we'll get a couple rolling out, and I'll kind of talk to you all about what I got going here. All right, so I got all my rods situated now. So I'm running 5 rods. I've got 4 of the TX12 minis from Church Tackle, and then I've got 1 stern planer that I'll run out the back. The stern planer, actually I forgot to get that out. Let's get it out, and I'll show that to you. Stern planer is going to run straight off the back of the boat. So, where's my stern planer? Here it is. I did get it out. Here's a stern planer there. So we'll run that one straight off the back of the boat. And yeah, let's I don't know. Let's see see if we can get these out. It's going to be the first trick, is getting everything kind of out and just going over a process of getting everything out. I'm going to start with my outside rods. Outside rods are going to be the rods that I'm going to fish the shallowest. And my theory on that is, my thought on that is, if I spook fish going over them, those fish are going to move deeper and further to the outside. So we'll play around with that. So But yeah, I'll have the shortest lead, so I'm going to run probably 75-foot leads from my planer board down to the crankbait on the outside, and I'll do 100 on the inside, and then I think I'm going to start running 75-foot out from the boat on my 2 outside ones, and then we'll step them back to 50-foot on those inside ones. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I can show you guys, I can get it set up and I can show you all kind of my thought behind it. But like I said, this is just a 100% learning experience here. So let's get our track going, and let's see, waypoint. All right, so there I'm at 75 foot. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to clip my planer board on. These long rods, I can tell right now, may not be the best plan for this. So, what we want to do is, we want to have, this is the port side, so left side of the boat. We want to clip that planer board right on there, and there's, pull the pin, go through the pin, and then everybody said give it some slack, pull it back, give it some slack for that for the flag mechanism to work. All right, so we gotta go behind the pin there, okay? I'm not sure where let's figure this out here. So I don't have any slack, so how do they get some slack? Do they make a loop? Let's see here. They're making a loop, let's see. That ain't it. Well, fellas, I'm through there. Guess that's it. I don't know. Let's give it a shot and see. So we're at 75 foot, so now we're gonna go out. Let's run these at, go another 75, put them to 150. Like I said, we're learning here. I do remember guys saying you do want, once you release the planer board, to release it under tension. So my planer board's out there. Okay, so there I'm at 150 foot. All right, so there I just put the middle board out. I've got it set, the planer board, that one at 50 foot behind the boat with a 100-foot lead to get that deeper. All right, so I was getting a little too close on my route, I think, to the bank there. So that's one of the things I think with these routes I have, you know, my routes I set, I wasn't setting them where, you know, accounting that I was getting this far of a spread. All right, so I started out with 25 foot between each planer board, and I thought that felt a little close, so now I'm bumping them out to spreading them out 50 foot. So I'm going, I got a 100-foot lead on the outside planer board, and by lead I mean from the planer board down to the crankbait, and I'm running that one then 100 foot out from the boat. So I've actually got 200 foot of line out on those outside ones. The inside ones I want to be a little bit deeper, so I'm going 125 foot on my lead, and then I'm going 50 foot on the distance out from the boat. So I'm 50 foot out from the boat, and then 50 foot out from that first planer board to the outside planer board as well too. I think that gives me a little bit better spread. That gives me a 200 foot spread. So I'm hoping that would work. So like I mentioned though, that big of a spread actually, you know, I've got to pay attention to, because, you know, you get close to the banks or close to docks, that's going to be an issue. So it's more of a manual presentation, or, you know, running the boat manually for this, I think. But we're going to keep playing around with it, you know. I think that's, I think I'm going to like them once I can get things kind of dialed in. Getting them hooked up. I'm out here, literally, I'm out here kind of, you know, I'm on the main channel. Not right out in the middle, obviously, but, you know, that way I can have a little bit of room to maneuver around. I am out by myself this morning. Hopefully I can get Dad out with me, you know, here coming up. I've also got my son coming to his buddies, and they want to fish, so be able to get them out, help me out, play around a little bit with this as well too. So it's definitely going to be something that's going to be a lot easier with multiple people in the boat. See, like right now I'm fiddling around with this, trying to get, you got to get it behind, there's a pin inside these clips, and you got to get it behind there. So, but I'm getting it slowly but surely, figuring things out here. And what I figured too is, when you're releasing your crankbait, you want to just free spool that. Then once you get the planer board on, release it under tension. So this one I'm taking out to 200 foot now. So that gives me a 100 foot lead, 100 foot out from the boat. So one thing I'm going to notice right off the bat, I don't think these 12 footers are the right rod for this application. I think I need a little bit stiffer rod and a little bit of a shorter rod. So maybe like an 8 footer or something. Now I do have the stern planer, and I have that on a 8 foot rod now. So that may be one of those things where I may want to flip flop those and you know, run a 12 footer that way, because I've seen you really want that middle rod to be up high so that as you're bringing fish in, you can get underneath. I haven't even had a chance to get that stern planer out yet, so that'll be a different story altogether. So we'll see what that takes. So all right, so I've finally gonna say I finally have all 4 out. I've been playing around with them for a good amount of time, and I say that, and these, I don't know, something weird's going on with that. You see that? But these two, I think are running correctly. Flags are up and they're pulling. I got good distance between them, 50 foot between each one. You can see the outside one and then this inside one. This one over here, something's going on with this inside one here. The planer board is in the water. See it bouncing? So let's pull that in. All right, we got fish on this. I felt it. Felt some pull. Bass on the planer boards. All right, so we're gonna have to learn these things because I had a fish and I saw it drop behind. All right, so I'm back out trying new rod setup here. So I've got some shorter rods out now. I've pulled out some of my bass rods, crankbait rods, you know, stuff that I would use for bass fishing, shorter 8-foot rods, 7.5, you know, in that range. I feel like after going out yesterday, kind of playing around with these 12-footers, I don't know. I think they might be a little bit too long for pulling these planer boards. So like I said, I'm just playing around with this stuff, and I really am just trying to figure it out. So let's see what these shorter rods do. They seem to be a little bit more manageable now. This inside one here, the flag's down. That would be a strike indicator, so I'll probably bring that one in. I haven't had any luck catching a crappie or anything with it, so but you know, on these planer boards yet. So let's see what we can you know, maybe catch one middle of the day on Friday. So lake's starting to get a little busy, so I just wanted to come out. I rigged these up, wanted to come out and see if I could you know, maybe piddle around, see if I could lay in something, just come across something. So let's take a look. Let's pull these in here, see what we got here. We're getting ready to make a turn on my auto guidance, so let's do that. And once we make this turn, we'll get them back out and see what we got going. But I'm running 100 foot out and 50 foot out, so I might want to go 125, 75. I do like the 50 foot kind of, you know, spread on them though. I think that's going to work out good. So I don't know. All right, so as you saw, it was a learning adventure. So definite learning curve when it comes to these planer boards. So what I found was, you know, like I mentioned in the video, I liked that 50 foot spread between, you know, the planer boards. So what I mean by that is, if I'm running 100 foot out with my planer board from the boat on my outside one, it was most comfortable for me to run that inside board at 50 foot. You know, I did kind of play around with, you know, my leads. If I ran my deeper crankbait closer to the boat versus the, you know, further away. As you can see, that first time out, I didn't even catch a fish other than a bass. But it was a learning experience. I didn't go out with the intention of, I want to, you know, go out. Obviously, I want to catch fish, but go out with the idea that I was going to go out there and just absolutely hammer them, because I did not have a clue what I was doing. I just had reference back to some videos I watched and you know, recommendations on other guys that I've used, you know, the planer boards for both walleye and crappie. So I think one thing too that I may do is I may run maybe just two, you know, two planer boards on the outside and then run my regular setups on the inside. I could also maybe potentially, I've thought about maybe running the two on the outside and then running the stern planers, you know, one off the middle on each side as well too. But I do like the fact that I'm able to get that wide spread out. So it's something where I'm so used to also watching rod tips that it's hard for me to adjust to watching now the planer boards or the flags, and also just getting used to what to look for. So whether that flag drops, you know, or that planer board starts to fall kind of behind the other one. So it's definitely a visual thing that you've got to watch those planer boards. So I don't know how I feel about them, to be honest with you. I hope you guys can learn something from these videos. I'm not going to go out, and I've said it in other videos. There's a lot of guys that go out there and you think, based off their videos, every time they go out, they just absolutely hammer. That's not accurate. You know, that's just not the truth. You know, I'm going to show you guys the good days and the bad days. I'm gonna show you when I catch fish. I'm gonna show you when I'm learning a new technique and I'm not catching fish. I'm gonna show you when I just utterly fail. I've had some, you know, I had a video earlier in the year where I was power trolling, and it was an absolute disaster. But I want to show that to you guys. So hopefully if I can just, you know, maybe show you guys one thing not to do, it'll save you some hassle, you know. So like I said, planer boards are something that I've wanted to kind of dabble in for a while now. It's not going to be my sole way that I pull crankbaits, you know. So, but I think there's a definite application for it. It's just kind of finding that and fine tuning it. It's definitely something that I don't think I would do when I'm by myself. It's just a lot to manage. By the time, you know, I think I mentioned in I don't know if I mentioned it in the video or not, but by the time, so say a lot of times I'll start in our own cove and you know, you start in the back of the cove and I work my way forward, and then I make a turn and come back and just, you know, kind of fish an individual cove. By the time you get your planer boards out, you've blown through that cove. So especially when you're by yourself, it's a lot of work to get them out. You know, you can't just cast them, you know, cast 2, 3, 4 at a time, let them run, click them in, and that's what I'm used to doing. So you got to let it run out, then you got to stop it, you got to clip the board on, you got to let it run out further, then set it, then do the next one, you know, 4 or 6 times, however many rods you got out. So definitely, in my opinion, it's going to take 2 people in the boat to make it, you know, easier. Otherwise, you're just going to be, it's going to be frustrating. It was for me. You know, it's like, man, I've been out here for 30, 45 minutes. I don't even know how long it was, you know, and it's like, I've got 2 out. I'm trying to figure everything out. So again, hope you all enjoy it. Hope you guys can learn, you know, maybe, you know, pick something up. You know, if you haven't tried planer boards, you know, pick 1 or 2 up, you know, play around with them, see what you think. Leave me a comment down below if you've pulled planer boards before. Leave me a comment down below, kind of give me some advice. You know, I always want to learn. Give me some advice, what you saw I was doing wrong, what I was doing right, you know, kind of some tweaks I can make or adjustments or whatever. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate every one of you guys that stuck around to the end of the video. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. Reach out to me, say hey, leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you. So we'll see you on the next one. Y'all take care.